Hi, everybody. This is your announcement for Philosophy 101 for the week of November 18th. So, first thing, kind of a fun thing, the beginning of the semester, I talked a little bit about the NMSU Aggie football team and that I had gone to a game. Well, yesterday, today's Sunday, I went to the ball game against Incarnate Word, and it was great. The Aggies won quite decisively. So I want to say congratulations to the Aggies. And it was a fun game. So, and now basketball season's starting, which is even more fun because we've had teams that are quite good. They've gone to the NCAA tournament. So, get out there and support those Aggies. Okay, moving on. More academic things here. All right, so first of all, let me talk about Module 5. I graded your discussion on Jean-Paul Sartre's philosophy and a few words about the idea of responsibility. I think that there were more than a few students who kind of misinterpreted what Sartre is saying about responsibility in existentialism as a humanism. So, and some thought that by responsibility, kind of what your parents say to you, you need to take responsibility for your, for your schoolwork. You need to take responsibility. So that sense of duty, okay, or that sense of, handling one's actions. Okay, so the way that Sartre talks about responsibility is a bit different. He talks about responsibility in terms of, I guess consequences might be the better way to say it. So in the reading, he gives an example of a commander who has to decide whether to send his troops into battle. Okay, so that commander, according to Sartre, says that he bears the responsibility of that choice. So if troops are killed or if it goes badly, that's on him. That's his responsibility. So Sartre's saying that with the choices that we make, and I'm not talking about what shirt to wear today. We're talking about, bigger life choices. With each of those choices, humans have to bear the responsibility of that choice. The consequences that might occur, not only to themselves, but to others also. Okay, so just wanted to talk about that, give you a little bit of feedback about that. And I wrote lots of comments, okay, in the rubric, so I hope that you're reading those because those are there to help you. The other thing is a few people are kind of missing some of the prompt. So when the prompt says to give a concrete example from the reading, make sure you do that, okay? Because that's going to help to support what you want to say. All right? All right. So let's go on. I know you did your discussion for Module 6 on gender. I will be grading that this week. So I want to move on to your next project. Okay, so this is kind of your big end of the year project. I don't have a final in this class as in an exam. So what I want to do, this is why I'm doing Screencast-O-Matic. I want to show you how this is going to work. Okay, here we are in our modules. There's Module 6. You just finished that one. So now we're moving on to Module 7. All right, and you notice it's the last module. Okay, so this is what you're going to focus on until the end of the semester. All right, so just going to your overview and objectives page, which everybody should read first. Okay, philosophy begins with wonder, right? That's just perfect for our class. Okay, all right, here's our objectives. Apply philosophical theories to one's own life in a presentation. So that's what you're going to be doing. So this is a presentation that will be similar to the ones you did for Descartes and for Darwin. I hope this one will be even more fun for you because you get to talk about your own philosophy. All right. So, and you're going to upload your presentation to the discussion. So just like you did before. Okay. So let me go to the next page. Okay, so here is the money page, right? This has all the instructions on it. Okay, so read through your objectives, read how to use the page, and then go down here. So first, you're going to want to, under Learning Activities and Assessments, you're going to want to review the texts and videos that we have studied over the semester in our course. We've done a lot. You may not remember everything, so it might be a good idea to just do a review. And then read all of the following instruction pages to complete the personal philosophy presentation, which you will upload to the Module 7 discussion. Okay, so I'm going to go through this. This might be a bit of a lengthy video. I'll try not to make it too draggy. Okay, so this is part 1 of the instructions. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have, I'm going to make myself big again. If I can, there we go. We're going to have a virtual symposium. Okay, so a symposium is something that the ancient Greeks engaged in to talk about stuff. All right, so I have an explanation of it here, so let me show you. Okay, so question, what is a symposium? Answer, symposium originally referred to a drinking party. The Greek word sympotein means to drink together. Okay, obviously we're not going to have a drinking party, okay, and nor would I have if this was a face-to-face class. But this is how, I guess this is where philosophy gets discussed, and I would argue on most college campuses, it is at parties where philosophy gets discussed as well, okay, even now. All right, so let me go back to the screen. Okay, so, but now, okay, a symposium refers to any academic conference, and you can click on that link and I give you a Wikipedia page that will explain to you what an academic conference is. All right, that's kind of cool. All right. Or a style of university class characterized by an openly discursive format rather than lecture and questions. Okay, so the story is Socrates has a symposium with his students. It's there. Here we go. So it's kind of an interesting story. Socrates and his students, it's like the next day after a night where they've drank pretty heavily. So they're all sort of hungover and trying to figure out, okay, now what should we do tonight? What are we going to do tonight? So they agree that they're going to have a symposium where they're going to talk to each other about love. Okay, and that was the topic of the symposium. So in the text, you can like Google it, and you could probably bring up the text on Gutenberg. They're all, they each one gets up and talks about their idea of love. And it's really a wonderful reading. And I wish we could do it in this class, but we just don't have time. Okay, so back to this project. So you are going to create this presentation, and our symposium is going to be our discussion, okay, that we have online. All right, so the purpose of studying philosophy is to question and develop one's own philosophical perspective. While this takes a lifetime to do and is often never completed, each student will create a presentation of their personal philosophy and share it with the class by uploading it to Module 7 discussion. Okay, so this gives you instructions on how to create your presentation. All right, I want you to note that this is a visual presentation. It needs to be 4 to 5 slides in length. Okay, that's a requirement. In your presentation, you are allowed to be creative. Use pictures along with sentences to create your presentation. You are required to include a total of 10 to 15 sentences / bullet points in your presentation. Okay, so you can't just have visual images. You have to also have text. Okay, all right, so then you go back to the instructions. Let's go to part 3. Let's see here. Wait, did I just skip over part 2? Hang on. Sorry, folks. Let me see. Okay, so this is part 2. So here are instructions for the content of your presentation. Okay, so 1, your presentation will answer the question, what is my personal philosophy and how has it been developed through the assigned readings in this class? Okay, that's very important. 2, To do this presentation, look back on the reflections you have made in your journal assignments and in our class discussions. What pattern might you see in your responses to the text and topics we discussed? 3, this is super important. Your presentation must include a thesis statement. Okay, and I give you a format that you are required to use. My personal philosophy is blank. Okay, and I know that might seem, simple, but it's better to have some sort of structure that you can use. Okay, so you have to have your thesis in your presentation, and it has to follow this format. Okay, it has to be a sentence. Okay, and in number 4, I gave you an example. And here's the other important thing, number 5, you must discuss at least 2 of the assigned readings/videos and how they influence the development of your personal philosophy. Okay, so what's important here is I'm not really asking you to kind of go off and discuss your personal philosophy without any kind of basis in the readings that we've done. Okay, so the point of all this is for you to connect your philosophy to the readings, and more than that, to build a philosophy from our readings. Okay, so that's what this is about. All right, so then you arrow back to the instructions, and we have part 3. So you're going to, just like you've done before, attach it to the discussion. There are discussion questions that you need to reply to. Okay, so make sure you complete that. This tells you how to attach a file, and you can, so you should only have one file to attach, so that should work out okay. All right, so this carries 20% towards your final grade. Okay, and this is the grading criteria. All right, the presentation, the completeness. Do you have everything there? Is it clear? Is it neat? Does it accurately discuss the text and materials from our class? And then your discussion. Do you contribute meaningfully to the discussion? Do you reply to 2 students? And you have to submit it 48 hours before the due date. Okay, so that is what we are doing. All right, so then once you do all that, and this is where you will upload your presentation, and make sure you answer those questions as well. Okay, all right, so that is what we are doing. This is going to be due on I just froze. Sorry about that. This assignment is due on December 5th. Okay, so you have from now until December 5th to complete this. And this is your last assignment for the class. So that's what we're doing. If you have questions about this, make sure you contact me this week. Okay, because next week is the Thanksgiving break, and I'm going to take a break too, so I may not be able to get back to you as quickly next week as opposed to this week. All right, so that's what this is about. I want to wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that you get some rest. Next week is the break, and I will not be posting an announcement for next week, but I will come back the week we come back from the break and talk to you one more time. Okay, thank you so much for listening. I apologize for the length of this announcement, but I thought it was important that I go through that final project. This is in place of a final exam. Okay, so this is kind of a big deal for your grade. Okay, thanks again, and have a great Thanksgiving. Bye.